Matthew, David, the minister of allowing. I want to just think some thoughts here and go through some ideas. Figure I'd take you with me. I just got done with all my training for the day. I'm having that midday cup of coffee, kind of like in France. I like to live that kind of approach. So let's get into some thought ideas. All right. I'm trying to work out something, so I'm going to show you how some of these thoughts will come together. So let's just pop a notebook up here. All right, I want to talk about the 1 and the 0. So this is the infinite. Okay, well, the infinite's this, and then the 1. Infinite and the 1. So this right here would be akin to space. All right. And space is a rarefaction of the ether. So this right here is the ether. Okay, principle and attribute. All right. So we have principle and then we have attribute. Now what that looks like is, let's say you have a flagpole here. All right, and you could say this is your flag, etc. And let's say you got the sun here. And the sun is sending its rays here, and what you have here is you have the you have your flag, your what you call your shadow, all right? Okay, you wouldn't see all the detail in the shadow. It would just be right there. It's ether rarefaction. So we know there's no material existence. We know that this right here is the mortal sense of what the 5 senses are perceiving. This physical object. But back of this physical object is you have an idea. It's a spiritual idea. And ideas are always held in their perfect place. Spiritual ideas. And so that right there would be the principle of one mind. And in that one mind are all ideas. All ideas that were ever created are contained in that one mind. So you have the 1, and then you have this right here, which would be the 0. The ether rarefaction right here. It's centrifugal. Okay, so the force that goes, it's a centrifugal. It's in the dielectric. Okay, so you can imagine you have the dielectric. All right, the dielectric polarities. And then this would be creation of magnetism. And so this right here, the 0 represents the loss of some of the potential right here. So it represents a loss of some potential, and it becomes the rarefaction, the shadow. So let's go back. We got the 1 and the 0. We got principle, and we got attribute, space. Now space also implies magnetism, okay? Magnetism, the magnetic dielectric, the dielectricia, the magnetism, okay? These are the, components. Now, there is no space-time continuum because there is no space. Okay, there is no space. And there is no time. It'd be like measuring, Klaus Schwab's fart if you're trying to look at space-time. It doesn't make any sense, right? But you have principle and attribute, 1 and the 0. All is 1. So we know there's one mind, one principle, one power, one activity. So what do you do with all this? What do you do with this actual knowledge? What does it mean? Well, I guess let's look at a blueprint and see what we can come up with. All right, so here you are. Okay. And, you know, you could say if you have a shadow right here, all right, here's your shadow. This is the wake of ether, okay? This is the wake of ether. That's what the shadow is. That's what space is. It's the wake of ether. It's the loss of potential. It's centrifugal towards the it's radiating out, and it's in the wake of matter. It's in the wake of matter. See, this is right here, matter. And what is matter? Matter is a belief. Matter is a belief, and it's the world of the five senses. Now, wholly separate from the world of the five senses is the life divine. And you could say, all is one, one is all. This is the man that God created. God created one man, one manifest. Doesn't look anything like this, to be honest with you. It looks like pure spirit. It looks like pure awareness. But we could say this is the one, and that's a principal idea held in the mind of God. It is God's body. So all phenomenon, everything exists in God's body. This all is one. And this right here is all zero. See this? The one and the zero. All is Maya. It's illusion. It's dream. It's transitory in the phenomenal world. And there's only one. So if you are pure awareness up here, okay, because this is pure awareness. This is also called the observer. All right. We'll just say the observer. This is the observed. The observed, we have to measure things in space, okay, to observe them. And so by that very concept of measuring them in space means they don't exist because there is no space. And there is no time. There's your clue right there. So this right here is the phenomenal world. It is the observed. Okay? The observed. So we have the observer, the observed, and then we have this. It would be the process of observation. That would be the mind of spirit, the process of observation. Well, what is spirit observing? Its own ideas, its own concepts, its own logic. It governs all within its own perfect creation. So at the same time, you are the observer, the observed, and the process of observation. Now, what mortal consciousness is, and we'll just say this is the carnal mind. This is what Paul talked about. The carnal mind is enmity against God, and this is what you would call God. The mind of God is the process of observation. Okay? Now, Neville calls that your living imagination. Okay? And it's funny because they say you're in the image and likeness of God. Image, imagination, right there. Likeness. Okay? Likeness. It's a big word. Likeness of God is not this. This is enmity against that likeness. This, again, is measured in time and space. It's in the phenomenal world. It's subject to disease, decay. It's no different than if you take a fingernail clipping, or I tore a callus off my finger today. It's physical. It's part of the physical phenomenon. In a holographic universe, every part of the whole Every part is containing the whole within it. So is my consciousness in that callus that I ripped off my hand as I held it there? No, it's just a dead carcass. Well, that's what Yahushua said in the Gospel of Philip, is that he who has found the world has found a great carcass. He who has found the world has found one that is unworthy of himself. Now see, that is the phenomenal world. That is the carnal mind. That's what you call your physical body in the human five senses that's observing, okay? It's observing, quantifying in time space. It's using distance and measurement to create judgments in human reasoning. This is the carnal mind. And you know, what we do with this is what I'm going to show you now. So imagine you are carnally minded and you really believe that you were born of flesh to a mother, father. And, you know, here you are, subject to all of the aches and pains and all of the problems of this world. And this is you, okay? Now, what did you do? Well, understand the wisdom here is that all through here, in what you call time-space, it's a magnetic field, all right? It's particles of matter that your human five senses are picking up and perceiving as a world out there. And what it is it's an extended body. It's an extended body of thought. It's the extended body of thought that comes out of the heart of man, manifest. So we have the man that God created, which is not this man. This man is not the one that God created. Remember, God created one manifest. So with that said, I'm not going to draw that manifest in the image and likeness of this. See, religion is when this dummy looks out here and paints God with a beard and says, this is the guy in the sky, and he's in image and likeness, right? Like they clothe him in mortality. So you take ignorance, I'll just put I here for ignorance, and you put ignorance outside of yourself. That was the God of Yahweh, okay? In Genesis 1, it talked about how God's works were already done, and God was at rest in his creation, and God's man lives in the garden. Okay, now the serpent that comes is this body of knowledge. The serpent is this body of knowledge right here. And what it is it's the opinions of the carnal mind that are always at war against what God truly is. Okay, God truly is the one. And the one can only bear the one's own reflection. The one and the zero. It's a number for God, the infinite and the one. And wholly separate from this dream right here is the life divine in spirit, and they never for once touch. They never coincide with each other, ever. Just like when I was looking at this callus in my hand. I had a little callus on my finger here, like this. See this? And as I was observing this callus, it's physical. Well, it has no more intelligence in it than any other physical thing, like a toe or a physical heart or a brain or eyes or any of these pagan sorcery ideas of the serpent mind that the world of lies and deceitfulness has given you. This is how you've been bound and enslaved for eons. What is this infinite and one that was actually observing the phenomenon? See, there always is back of all of this a still presence. It's the I am presence within. It's the principle of spiritual awareness itself. That is the life divine. It's perfect. It's incorruptible. It's immutable. It's eternal. It holds all of its creation in perfect tact and harmony at all existence points. Now, the way out of this nonsense is, let's say, you have a little pain in your knee or something, is exactly right where you think that pain is to understand that this is the only thing that ever existed and ever was created, was the body of Christ, of Spirit, the I am presence. And never for once does it ever become less than itself into any adulterated or corrupted position of weakness, decay, deformity, disease, malfunction, age, decline. See, this all has to do with the concepts that you're holding in your mind. Right where that pain is, there is actually only the infinite one, God, all in all, Spirit. None of this is even real. It is a dream state of consciousness, here today, gone tomorrow, that has not a single element of truth within it whatsoever. It is a liar from the beginning, from the father of lies. Yahweh was the one that hissed in the garden. The serpent is the carnal mind of mortality. So the best thing you could probably do if you want to really get this is get my book, 0 Point. All right? Okay, I'll just put 0 Point. Ultimate Truth is Love. It's got the seal of Melchizedek on it. And my name up top here. Comes with the course. You get the free course. Get the book in your hand so you can go through all the note sheets, because it's a training manual. This thing right here is a training manual. These sheets are designed for you to take notes, and I show you exactly how to work with your consciousness and use the technique, the PTT technique, to be, see, and feel perfection. Okay? That's your job, is to be of one mind, one accord, to walk in spirit, and just step out of the gutter of material living. It's a gutter. It's designed to enslave you. It's all a choice of free will and how you're using it. That's all there is to it. And then, when you're done with that, by all means, come to the Ascended Master Workshop. And you'll find out more about that when you go to the website, where 0 Point will show you. Okay, you go through that material, you'll be invited to that. You can also go to MatthewDavidHurtado.com, and you can see, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see all that stuff. It's probably a good investment if you want to go all the way. It's probably a bad investment if you're just curious. Like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my world, and I think I'm just going to go back asleep in my mortality and, trust in my 5 senses that it's all real and it's all designed to be good. If you believe that, then workshop that I'm putting on is probably not going to be for you. If you want to raise your consciousness to the level where you will be on the same vibrational frequency as ascended masters, so that you can have experiences that are what they call supernatural, in the natural, all the time, because you're actually existing in that consciousness, then the workshop is definitely for you. And I can't think of a better place to do it. I can't think of a better workshop, honestly. If I could, I would already be going to it. And I would already be reinventing it and modeling it to create a better workshop for us. But because I've already done that and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars searching the planet for the best people to learn from, the idea here is that my 100% focus is on this right here. All eyes on the prize. Consciousness to the level of Ascended Master. That's the only thing that matters in my personal belief system. I know that this time here in this drunken state of 5 sense reality is temporal. It's fleeting. And it's a school, according to the ancient Nag Hammadi library. And we are here to know, love, and trust the Father. And I also know that infinite realities appear and disappear in the vast expanse of my consciousness like motes of dust dancing in a beam of light. And so therefore, I want to be able to tap into the real good ones. And it's all consciousness. So that's the plan. Just some food for thought. Thought I'd share with you some sketch and doodle. Take care.